3.5 minutes left to go before we wind up for the day. You've got GSK Pharma numbers as well, and optically at least they're looking quite okay. The operational first flash is really of the bottom line right now, which is posted a 28.6% uptick. Looks quite okay right now. Let's await more details. The top line growth of about almost notching 10%. We'll analyze those numbers in just a short while. But yeah, today really belonged to the jewelry names. And then, of course, SBI has been really the star performer. 7% notch up on that stock. Shriram held it very smartly. UltraTech Cement did quite well. Tata Steel, Titan, Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles, and of course BEL were all names which looked good. More than the Nifty, I think what's more impressive is the way the market breadth actually opened up after having struggled the last fortnight or so, and especially all of last week's volatility. You've got the market breadth standing in favor of the advances with a count of good 179 standing to the greens, with just 33 odd names to the red. So let's address the reds first. You had Max Healthcare, ITC, Infosys, ICICI Bank, Maruti and Bharti, which were the lag underperformers. Along with that, there was an REC, Sales, Siemens and Bosch as well, which did see some red ticks coming in. But the gains, of course, were far and wide. Kalyan Jewellers with that 13.5% notch up. There was Keynes, which held higher by about 7%. Crompton's almost 6.7% of a notch up. And then Godrej Properties as well, which held very strong by a good 5.7% of an uptick.
Okay, and those GSK Pharma numbers flashing on your screen. EBITDA has come in at 371 crore versus the 355 crore number which was anticipated. Largely in line, but of course that EBITDA number is a beat, and therefore we're seeing a slight bit of an uptick on that counter in the closing minutes of trade. But that's on GSK Pharma, of course. I wonder what a Trident is also doing in the closing minutes, because you've got those numbers also come through. Let's pull up a Trident Limited, 3% higher, again on the back of numbers. The numbers look weak at the outset, but of course, the stock obviously reacting positively to the numbers that came through. Now let's talk about the market itself. The breadth was extremely favorable. You saw markets, in fact, the Nifty closing very close to the day's highs. Both the mid-cap as well as the small-cap indices also closing very close to the day's highs. On a day like this, though, the Nifty IT index is absolutely flat, frankly. So despite a very, very flat IT index, despite the likes of an HDFC and ICICI not contributing, we've seen a decent move. And that's really the positive takeaway, for the day. In terms of the movers itself, we've got 35 advances on the Nifty 50 index versus the 15 declines that we saw. And within the Nifty 500 basket as well, the breadth was positive. In fact, there are 420 advances to just about 80 declines. So the breadth there was far more strong, or rather far stronger than the Nifty 50 index. There you go. That's, of course, the sectoral heat map. You can see the PSU banks leading from the front. Within broader markets, it was the realty index. Pharma doing well, metals doing well. The Nifty bank as well as the Nifty IT not really participating, as you can see. Some of the heavyweights just staying out of it. Reliance doing okay, and then you've got the Nifty Auto, which was also perked up 1% in trade. The Nifty Bank did fairly well for itself, of course, 1% higher, aided by SBI and its numbers. SBI and Shriram Finance. Shriram Finance has quietly slipped up 6% and been shadowed by SBI in terms of performance today, but has done very well for itself. So that's the other stock which has done very, very well for itself. Some movers again on the back of numbers. Kempla Sanmar was up 10%, 20% high on Shipping Corp. Kalyan Jewellers and all of the jewellery stocks were abuzz. We saw the likes of a Jana Small Finance Bank. We spoke about that. A Kim's, Kian Heat Exchanger was up 7.5% as well. So those were some of the names in the broader markets which did well. ISFC, which is India Shelter Finance, was down 5% again on the back of numbers. NPA ratios have inched up. Electronic Marts India came out with numbers up 15%. PN Gadgil too up 9% on the back of numbers. Man Industries, we spoke with management, positive, stock up 5%. And a Venky's and a Suprajit Engineering were some of the calamities of the day in terms of earnings. Both of those stocks down 8% and 3% respectively. Kunal, wrap up the day for us from your side. How did you look at the day, and what does this mean in terms of the move for the rest of the week?
See, in the last 1 week, the only distinctive feature about the market is market breadth opening up. Advanced decline ratio been starkly positive. I think when you look at the last 5 days, we were discussing this the entire month of January, the net market breadth was negative in favor of declines. So that's changed. You're seeing the FI numbers being a little bit more on the positive side. I think on Friday we saw the FI on the cash side being positive. There is a stark removal, or rather, a withdrawal of short positions in the index futures from the FIIs. That's another positive to add. And then I think the markets, or the global markets, still need to find fettle. So on the back of all of these positives, I would believe that our markets could continue to look a little bit more attractive. It's just that this 26,000 mark on the spot levels is acting as a bit of a hurdle point. Maybe I think in the next, in the remainder part of this week, if you find some bit of mojo back again to break past about this 26,000 mark, then I believe that the laggards in terms of the large cap names, few of the stocks which have not been participating, they would also start and come back into participation mode. So net extremely positive view on the indices going forward, but just a break or a minor hurdle at the 26,000 mark.
Okay, Kunal, great to have you on the show. And yes, it's the market breadth which was the standout, sort of highlight of the day, other than, of course, individual stocks that moved up. But we'll wind it up right here in this edition of Closing Trades. Thanks for watching.